Paddletek continues to impress this year. Their Bantam lines have been huge hits, and now the newly released ESQ-C is making waves, and for good reason. But before we jump into the specs and performance, it would mean a lot to me if you could hit the subscribe button. These videos do take a good amount of time and effort, and hitting that subscribe button does support the growth of this channel. With that out of the way, let's jump into some specs. The ESQ-C is a standard shape paddle. It comes in two options, the 12.7mm and a 14.3mm. These paddles have a carbon fiber and fiberglass face. The ESQ-C has a polymer core and is classified as a Gen 1 paddle. The grip length is 5.5 inches. The grip circumference is 4.25 inches. The swing weight on the 12.7 is 103, and on the 14.3 is 106. The twist weight on the 12.7 is 6.7 and is 6.8 on the 14.3. Both of my paddles came in around 7.8 ounces. The retail price of the ESQ-C is $250. And lastly, these paddles are manufactured and sourced in the United States. These paddles are amazing. I am usually not a big fan of standard shape paddles, and the ESQ-C certainly took some adjusting, but wow, these paddles are good. Right out of the gate, these paddles will surprise you with just how much pop they have. The other thing you will notice is just how light they feel. These paddles' swing weights are crazy low for the amount of power that they produce. My spin test for the 12.7mm came back around 2,210 RPMs, and for the 14.3mm, my spin test came back around 2,180 RPMs. Both of these paddles' spin tests resulted in top-tier spin, which was very apparent with how much I could shape the ball on my shots. The 14.3mm has a slightly softer feel and slightly larger sweet spot. However, you do sacrifice some power and pop to gain that added forgiveness. I personally love the 14.3 over the 12.7mm, but only by a small amount. The main reason being is just that these paddles play very similar, but the added control and sweet spot was more important to me than the slight addition of more power with the 12.7. Also, I found myself hitting just more pop-ups with the 12.7mm over the 14.3 when in the transition zone and at the kitchen line. Another thing I love with these paddles is the swing weight is so low, so I was able to add some weight to the top and sides of my 14.3mm, which helped with more plow through and increased the sweet spot even more. As mentioned, these paddles are Gen 1, meaning they are not thermoform, but do not let that fool you. Paddletek has really figured something out with how great these paddles perform. If you are in the market for a power paddle in a standard shape with a low swing weight, then this is one of your best options. These paddles are really a home run in my opinion. With having such a low swing weight, it really allows for great customization options with adding weight. Both of the ESQ-C options have great power and are highly maneuverable. Although the standard shape is typically not for me, I have to give props to Paddletek for constructing such an amazing paddle. Also, if you are worried about core corruption like the Yolas, then the Paddletek line is the best option for you as the Gen 1 cores will last longer. If you are a fan of the alw-c line, then these paddles will feel very familiar and they come with a 5.5-inch handle. At the end of the day, I really do have no complaints about these paddles other than the $250 price tag, but that has been fairly common for the top performing power paddles of this year. If you have hit the ESQ-C paddle, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you have any other questions for me, make sure to drop those down below as well. Other than that, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.